Good morning, students. Today we are going to read another very important question in the topic of Hazrat Abu Bakr Raziyallah Anha in the subject of Islamiyat O levels. So concentrate yourself. The question is, write a note on various campaigns and battles fought in Abu Bakr's reign. So concentrate yourself. We are going to start campaign in Oman and Mehra. The ruler of Oman, who had accepted Islam in Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's time, had been responsible for the conversion of many of his subjects to Islam. After the ruler's death, many people apostatized. The people were suppressed and they laid down their arms. The people of Mehra region had also apostatized. They were also subdued. They accepted Islam and were granted amnesty. Next is campaign in Yemen. The Persian governor who had accepted Islam in Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's time had been responsible for the conversion of many of his subjects to Islam. Aswad Ansi succeeded in gaining a large of the following. Soon he became powerful enough to challenge the governor. At the caliph's order, the Muslim army engaged and utterly destroyed the rebels. The rest laid down their arms. Those who accepted Islam were granted amnesty. Next is campaign in Hadramaut. The Kindi tribe of Hadramaut revolted in 633 AD. They apostatized from Islam and refused to pay taxes. In a battle, a large number of the apostates were killed. The survivors laid down their arms. Next is campaign in eastern Iraq. The following were the causes of the war between the state of Medina and the Persian Empire. So this is one of the very important short question. The reasons of the war between the Muslims and the Persian Empire. So number one reason was ill treatment of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's envoy by Khusro Pervez, who was the ruler of the Persia. Ill treatment of the Arab tribes in the Persian Empire was another reason. Next, Persian intrigues in Arabia, that is instigating Yemen to rise against Medina and possibly incited Sajjad to falsely claim prophethood. Decay of the Persian Empire since the death of the Khusro Pervez, numerous weak princes and ascended the throne of the empire. So these were the reasons of the war between the Muslims and the Persian Empire. Lure of the fertile lands and booty. Refusal of the Persians to trade with Islamic Arabia. Battles between border petrol forces. So this is one of the short question. So keep it in your mind that only reasons can come into the paper also. In 633 AD, Khalid bin Walid was ordered by the Caliph to proceed to the Persian border. 4 columns, each under a different commander, were ordered to reinforce Khalid bin Walid's army. Khalid bin Walid sent Hormuz, the commander of the Persian army, a letter asking him to choose from one of the following options. And the 3 options were pay jizya, number 2, accept Islam, number 3, prepare for the war. Hormuz, the commander of the Persian army, chose the last option, war. Through fast marches, Khalid's army surprised the enemy. The Persians were forced to go into battle immediately. Hormuz's troops were tied together with chains so that they would fight bravely. This was the tactic of the Persian army. However, this led to their undoing as thousands of the men could not retreat and maneuver before a swift Muslim assault. As the Persians tried to retreat while bound in chains, thousands of them were massacred. Thus, the Battle of the Kazima is also known as the Battle of the Chains. Hormuz was killed in the battle, and thousands of his men were taken prisoners. The next is the Battle of Mazar. Another Persian army crossed the Tigris at Mazar. Survivors of Hormuz's army joined up with them. They halted at Mazar and set camp. As soon as Khalid reached Mazar, he was informed of the Persian concentration. He attacked immediately and routed the army. Muslims overtook the fleeing enemy and killed many, while a large number drowned in the Tigris. This is a river. The inhabitants of the Mazar offered submission and agreed to pay jizya. Next is Battle of Valaja. The Persian emperor sent two more armies to engage the Muslims. This army group crossed the Euphrates, this is another important river, and set camp at Valaja. The Persians were massacred and most of the enemy was annihilated. The Persians joined forces with Christian Arabs. They camped 10 miles from Valaja. A greater part of the enemy army was destroyed. Next is the conquest of the Hira. Khalid marched towards Hira. The governor of Hira abandoned his city and took flight. Hira was occupied without any opposition. Next is the campaign in western Iraq. Towards the end of the June 633 AD, Khalid marched towards Anbar. Anbar was an important trading town and caravans came here from Persia and Syria. The town was protected by walls and a deep moat. Khalid ordered the old and weak camels to be killed and their carcasses dumped into the moat. This formed a bridge and the Muslim forces attacked the wall. Finding this situation hopeless, the governor surrendered. The Persian army and their families were allowed to withdraw peacefully. Muslims occupied the town of Anbar. With the siege and conquest of another large fortified town, Tamar, the entire region from Ubala to Anbar came under Muslim control. The next is campaign in Syria. In February 634 AD, Abu Bakr called for jihad against Syria. By March, he had assembled a large force of 4 corps, 7,000 men each, commanded by Amr bin As, Yazid bin Abu Sufyan, Shurabil bin Hassan, and Abu Ubaidah bin Jarrah. Khalid bin Walid marched from Hira with 9,000 men towards Syria. Next is the Battle of Basra. When Khalid approached Basra, he came to know that a detachment of 4,000 Muslim warriors under Shurabil was fighting the Byzantine Empire. He sent a message to Abu Ubaidah to meet him. Soon the Byzantine and Muslim armies faced each other. Khalid offered Islam to the enemy commander, Romanus, who embraced it. Surprised by their commander's defection, they withdrew to the city and locked its gates. During the night, Romanus led a detachment of Muslims through a secret tunnel into the city. The Byzantines were killed in large numbers and the survivors surrendered. Next, we are going to read the Battle of the Ajnadain. Determined to teach the Muslims a lesson, the Byzantine Emperor Hercules massed his forces at Ajnadain, a place west of the Jerusalem. Khalid integrated and massed all the Muslim forces in the Syria for the attack on the enemy forces at Ajnadain. When the Byzantine commander died, the enemy fled and was killed in large numbers. Next, we are going to read the siege of the Damascus. Marching towards Damascus, Muslims came upon a large number of the Byzantine troops blocking their way. After these troops had been defeated, the survivors fled to Damascus and locked the gates. Damascus was laid siege from 21 August to 23 August 634 AD. On 23 August, the news of the death of the Caliph reached the Muslims and they left for Medina. It was during the Caliphate of Umar that Damascus finally fell into the hands of the Muslims. So these were the wars fought in the Abu Bakr's Caliphate. One of the important lengthy lectures, students, but this come in the paper. So read this lecture again, understand it, learn it, and make your notes. Thank you so much.